Hey everyone, so today we'll be taking a look at 3 of the flying Ford Anglias from LEGO Harry Potter. In total, LEGO has released 4 versions of this car, the first being in 2002, then 2010, 2018, and this summer in 2020. At the moment, you can buy these 2 cars on store shelves as both of them are from current sets. So to start us off, let's take a look at them from the front. Now, all of these cars fundamentally share the same build. In fact, they all have the same front grille piece, and they are both 6 studs long. Between 2010 and the 2018 and 20 variants, the biggest change comes from the size of the car. From 2018 to 2020, however, there aren't too many big differences, only a few minor changes. One of the differences between the 2010 version and these 2 later ones is firstly the headlight color. On the 2010 one, they used a trans clear stud, and on the later versions, they used that same piece but in trans yellow. The 2010 one also does not have a number plate, whereas the 2018 and 2020 version both share the same one, which says 7990TD. On the hood, you can see that the 2010 and 2018 version share the same piece, whereas the 2021 has a more rounded approach. The back of the car also shares a few similarities. They've all got some red taillights, however the 2010 one is missing that additional orange piece. The 2010 one also has a curved back. As you can see, it has these 2 curved slope pieces that are reaching up a lot higher than just the plain tiled off piece that the new ones have. Also on the back, we have 3 different types of trunks, all of them open in the same fashion, but are using different techniques. The 2010 one just uses that same bonnet piece on a hinge. The 2018 version is using some clip and bar pieces and doesn't open up all the way. The new one also uses those clip and bar pieces, although is brick build, which means it sticks out a lot further, allowing for a chain and a trunk to fit in the car. Now, all 3 of these different versions of the car are from different scenes in the Chamber of Secrets. The only 2 cars that are from the same scene are the original flying Ford Anglia and the 2020 version. Taking the 2021 out for a second, I want to take a closer look at the 2018 and 2010 version, as there are a lot of differences between these 2 cars. From the side straight off the bat, you can see that they used a different wheel piece in the newer version. The older one has got this metallic silver, really shiny hubcap piece, which I think looks really good. I haven't seen it used too often in LEGO sets either. You can also see that the white line that comes across the entirety of the car is not printed on the door. Luckily, they changed that in 2018, allowing for a much more realistic look. And it's just got these 2 slope pieces to make up the back of the car. On its own, you can see as well that this car is a lot more boxy. Rather than a nice smooth rounded roof, it's just got a 6x6 plate on the top, which when I was younger I found really cool for play value, as I could sit figures on the top. If you pop the bonnet off the 2010 version, there is also this little hole at the back, which I've previously used to hold the little suitcase in case it didn't fit. It's also got a nice black round tile here to symbolize the engine, or maybe it's just to make the hood pop on easier, but either way, I really like it. Now, one thing I noticed when playing with this set when I was a lot younger is that this boot piece can easily pop off. It is not in there very well. There have been so many times when playing with this set that it would fall off and I'd have to try and get it back on. Inside, you can see that there is a black suitcase as well. As the minifigures in this set had full-size legs, there is 2 tiles so that the minifigures can easily slide in and sit on the car. This is also the only car out of these 3 to have a gear stick. While very boxy, it's a pretty neat car, especially for the time, and it surprisingly has a lot of room in the car, especially since you can fit maybe 2 or 3 suitcases if you use both the front and the back of the car. Putting the 2 side by side again, and underneath the grille on the front, you can see a few gaps on the old one, as these 2 bricks here are just some angular slopes, so it doesn't quite fit as flush as the newer version, which used a curved plate. Now, taking a look at the 2018 one, you can see that it is a lot shorter. In fact, putting them right next to each other, you can see that there is a full, maybe brick of space between them, which is quite a lot. It also has the introduction of some wing mirrors on the sides. Some of the main differences with this car compared to its 2010 predecessor is the wheels. They are nice and shiny and silver, using a pretty common wheel piece. There is also some white printing on the doors to keep that strip going throughout the entirety of the car. You've also got a more robust boot, which I really like, although this one in particular does not come all the way up. The boot is completely tiled off and there is 2 brown suitcases inside. In the 2018 version, the roof is this standard LEGO car roof, which is attached to the back window. This whole piece pops off when you take off the roof, as the back window isn't studded on at the back in any way, shape or form. It's just connected to the roof. Inside the car, you can see we only have 1 car seat, which is 4 studs long almost. There's this little piece at the back, which I suppose is supposed to be used as the back of the car seat, and there is a 3-plate space. So to put Ron and Harry in, how I've typically done it is by putting their arms up to their faces and sticking them side by side in the car. And then you just pop the roof on and you can see Ron and Harry screaming from inside the car. Now, unfortunately, this means that no one is holding the steering wheel. Now, when I do this as well, there is one stud of gap between the figures and the steering wheel, and that is because if you move it any closer forwards, the roof of the car will not fit on flush. Also in the car, you can see that there are two 1x2 slope pieces which make up the angular back of the roof. And because of that as well, they had to add an extra 1x1 tile piece to the back to make that roof nice and flush. I also really like the back windscreen and how it kind of carries round to the sides. I think that looks really good. Just like the other two flying Ford Anglias, they all use the same windscreen. It also uses the same bonnet piece as the 2010 version. Overall, I think it's a massive step up from the 2010 version. But how does it compare to the 2020 version? When you put the two side by side like this, they look like pretty much the exact same car. They've got the same headlights, the same roof, the same grille, and the same number plate. Although from the front, you can see that there is a difference in the bonnet. This newer version uses a much more curved piece. From the side, you can see that the door is the exact same that is used in the 2018 version with its nice printing. But one of the main differences from the side as well is that there is a full glass piece, and in fact, this blue bit here is a sticker, which is really frustrating. And that brings it down for me, as I liked the full brick built version that we'd seen previously. We've got the same wheels and the same build over here, and the back is pretty much the same as well, besides the boot. Now, unlike the other versions, this car is primarily a play feature in its set, as if you open up the boot, you not only have Harry's trunk like most of the other cars, but you also have a dark grey chain, and that is to pull off Harry's bedroom window. That is also why they changed the boot design on this new one. It's a lot longer and is more brick built rather than just the standard piece that the old one had. The back window as well is a lot smaller in this set. Honestly though, it looks a lot more accurate to an actual car back window because of its size. Because it is not a full windscreen piece, the roof just pops off on its own this time. And on the inside, we essentially have the same interior, just with no piece at the back to represent the back of the seat. So let's see how Ron and Harry fit in this car. Now, this is the first time I've tried this, and off the bat, it's a lot harder, and I think that is because of the way this is built using these window pieces. You can kind of throw them in there to be side by side, but it definitely doesn't stick down as easy. And looking at it, you can see that's because on the old one, the window is set one stud further back than the new one, which is a shame. Of course, in both versions as well, you can have both the characters sitting behind each other. Between the 2018 and the 2020 version, I do think I prefer the design of the 2018 version purely because of the way it's more rounded off. I am glad that we got Privet Drive so early on, but I think if they were going to do the Ford Anglia in it, maybe they should have pushed it back another 2 years or even 1 year. That way the Whomping Willow probably would have retired at that point, and then a new set of people who missed out on the first one would be able to get the newer version. So there are the 3 flying Fords. Now overall, in terms of space and playability, I'd probably have to go with the 2010 version. The fact that the characters can sit side by side, but also as a kid I always used to put minifigures on the roof or even their trunks on the roof, and to me that was really good, as I could have tons of figures flying along in their car. Style wise, however, I would definitely have to say that the 2018 version looks the best. I also like that I am able to put the 2 figures side by side because of the way the back window is worked, and because of that I'd probably say it's the best of these 3 cars. I wish I had the original to show you all as well, but unfortunately I don't, and that set is quite pricey. So there you have it. That is the comparison between the 3 most recent flying Ford Anglias. Let me know in the comments below which one you think looks the best. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more videos. And until then, I'll see you later.